Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, where today we're wondering where on earth Arsenal would be without Bukayo Saka. Born in Ealing in West London, Saka started his football career with Watford and tried out for Chelsea and Tottenham before picking Arsenal, joining the Gunners as a 7-year-old. Encouraged by the pipeline from Hale End to London Colney and ultimately to the Emirates, he was courted by Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund before he turned 18, and was always marked as a standout talent in the academy, not just for his pace and skill, but for his intelligence and maturity, with excellent GCSE grades and a family which supported him but kept him grounded. It's easy to forget that it was those smarts which earned him a spot in the first team originally, with Unai Emery trusting the young attacker's instincts and will to learn enough to give him a shot at left back. Since then, the Englishman has featured in both wing-back slots, central midfield and on each flank, now firmly ensconcing himself on the right-hand side of attack. And for all Arteta's work on building a bond between players and fans, arguably nothing he's done has made as much of a difference as the presence of Saka in the squad. A living reminder of Arsenal's connection to the city and supporters they represent, and a welcome feel-good factor after years of toxic dissatisfaction among the Emirates faithful. It doesn't hurt that Saka's taken every chance he's been given in style. He won Arsenal's Player of the Season award 2 years running, the first academy graduate to win the prize since Jack Wilshere a decade earlier, and after becoming the first player born in the 21st century to appear in the Premier League, has gone on to become an ever-present under Mikel Arteta. In 2020-21, he was the Gunners' most used outfielder, while last season he ranked third, and that means that despite his 21st birthday not arriving until September, he already has 131 senior appearances to his name. At the same age, Lionel Messi had 110. Most encouragingly of all, Saka continues to add strings to his bow. Though he entered the campaign with just 6 Premier League strikes to his name, he ended the season as his team's top goal scorer in all competitions, while only trailing Alexandre Lacazette for assists, and his growing reputation for coolness under pressure has even earned him the right to take penalties for Arsenal. A sign of remarkable inner strength after he missed the decisive spot kick in the final of the European Championships last summer. So, Saka has become both a star and a symbol for Arsenal. A return to Wenger's principles and the man they turn to when they need someone to produce something from nothing. But how has his game changed, and what role has he played in Arsenal's unexpected surge up the table? Let's take a deeper look at his numbers. Given his influence on Arsenal, you might be surprised what you see if you glance at Saka's stats for the 2021 season. 8 goals and assists in 32 league games was a decent return, especially for a teenager. But while it made us take notice of Saka, especially in an underwhelming Arsenal outfit, it wasn't yet what you'd call elite, or even particularly good. Clearly, the kid was talented, but 63 Premier League players are involved in more Premier League goals than the Englishman that term. And so Arteta had to gamble on the number 7 taking a big step forward in order to push the team on from consecutive 8th place finishes. Fortunately, he more than delivered. In the season just gone, Saka was his team's top scorer with 18 goals and assists in league play, moving from a contribution every 319 minutes to one every 160 minutes. And while that slightly oversells his development, with expected goals putting him at 0.4 per 90 the previous campaign and 0.5 most recently, that's enough to move him from the realm of promising into excellent. With those underlying numbers good enough to place him alongside highly rated talents like Dejan Kulusevski, Jared Bowen and Barcelona-linked Rafinha. His centrality to the Gunners' attack and partnership with Martin Ødegaard are also extremely promising and unusual at his age. Arsenal's front line may not yet blow opponents away, scoring 1.6 goals a game compared to the 2.6 and 2.5 of Manchester City and Liverpool respectively, but they're now a solidly above average attacking side, taking 15 shots a match, which ranks 3rd in the Prem, up from 11th, and getting 4.9 on target, 4th in the division, up from a woeful 13th in the previous campaign. Of those shots, Saka is involved in, either taking or creating, a massive 4.2 per 90, with the complete list of players above him looking like this. That's it, 5 undeniably world-class players, plus specialist creators Hakim Ziyech and Martin Ødegaard. And remember, Saka is 3 years younger than Trent. In fact, Jadon Sancho and Reece James are the only other 23s to make the Premier League's top 30 in this stat. Put simply, this is out of the ordinary. So clearly, the output is blistering, and Saka's positioning has slightly changed too, especially with the front line becoming more fluid after the departure of Aubameyang. According to pass maps produced by Arsenal analyst Scott Willis for the games against West Ham, Leeds and Manchester United, the winger is quite often one of Arsenal's most advanced players. That means that while Saka is actually taking marginally fewer touches each match than he did last year, he's getting more in the final third and penalty area. And though that's partly due to the team as a whole getting better at controlling territory, with 32% of the game spent in the opponent's third in the league, up from 7th, when you consider the pressure Saka is starting to face as his team's most dangerous player, getting fouled the 5th most in England, it balances things out. Getting touches closer to goal means that a larger proportion of these touches turn into key passes or shots. But Saka has maintained his pass completion rate from 2021, still finding the target as regular despite attempting harder balls. And his dribbling tells a similar story. In fact, ball carrying might well be the most exciting part of the youngster's game. Blessed with phenomenal acceleration, balance, and deceptive lower body strength, Saka's ability to wriggle away from markers has only become more noticeable in the present season, and being stationed higher hasn't diminished his role as a progression machine, carrying the ball forward 8 times a game, more than Declan Rice or Alan St-Maximin. He rates 7th in the division for taking the ball into the penalty area, ahead of Sadio Mane and Wilfried Zaha, and again, it's his efficiency which marks him out as special, getting dispossessed less than last year despite spending more time running at the opposition in the most congested area of the field. All in all, Saka has gone from a prospect to Champions League level performer, an all-round threat who is as comfortable finishing moves as he is starting them. And with the team around him growing and total faith from his manager, it seems the Gunners might, once again, have made themselves a superstar. The downside of Saka's brilliance and reliability is that the team already depend on him. With more minutes for Arsenal than anyone else since Arteta took over in December 2019, it wouldn't be surprising if Saka's record of just 2 games missed to injury in his senior career quickly deteriorates, especially as opponents seek more cynical ways to knock him off his game. So while Arsenal may improve their first 11 this summer, they also need to improve the bench or start to put more trust in Nicola Pepe, with the added burden of European football too much for anyone to bear, let alone a kid short of his 21st birthday. Still, those first 11 plans can help the youngster too. A rumoured move for Gabriel Jesus, who has spent roughly 1,200 of his 1,700 league minutes this season away from the centre forward spot, would likely give Saka more opportunities to get into central positions and add to his goal tally, especially with the Brazilians' one-on-one threat requiring more defensive attention from opponents too, potentially allowing Saka a bit more space. Development is rarely linear for young players, especially if there are changes to the team or their role. And even if Saka can avoid injury, it wouldn't be surprising to see him have a down season next year, or simply maintain his current output before making another leap around 23. The forgotten aspect of having a gem is that it's precious, and needs time and patience in order to sparkle. If Arsenal can give Saka some breathing room next season and prioritise his long-term growth, they may well end up with one of the best young players in the world. So team, that was our explained on the rise of Saka, but who should we do next? Let us know in the comments below. Click on screen now for more great explained content, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Nice one.